Good morning, coaches. Today I'm going to be talking through a very simple session that I ran yesterday. We are preparing for President's Cup, and so all of our players are, coming back from their various high schools, getting together, and then we're getting ready for our, regional event next week. And so we also had some tornadoes that came through and hit our town, unfortunately. And so dealing with that and trying to make sure, doing right by the players, making sure I have a good session for them. Try to keep it simple for the coach, try to make it fun for the players, and tick a lot of boxes as we try to get connected and get prepared for the tournament. So I really try to make sure that everything I do, is as easy for transitioning from one activity to the next. I want to start with something warm up. We had our session early in the morning. Wanted to do something that was, something that would wake them up a little bit different, kind of get them attuned a little bit quicker. And so we started with Protect the King or Queen, depending on if you're playing with boys or girls. Then we went into a 2v2 plus 2, 4v4 plus 4, and finished with 6v6. And so I got there a little early and set up the grids as so. So these black dots represent the cones. So we have 4 10 by 10 little grids, and those are going to basically be the start for the Protect the Queen slash King, and the 2v2 plus 2. So with Protect the King, we have our players in blue and yellow, ball is red. And so what happens is this player has the ball and they have to maintain possession inside the grid, and they have to not let this player, who is the defender, try to win the ball. This player is trying to win the ball. This player is here and acts as a buffer. So wherever this player goes, anywhere around the grid, this player tries to inhibit the defender from getting them. So they have to kind of maneuver around together, and so this player really has to be keeping their eye on not only the defender, but where is my teammate with the ball? How can I protect them? How can I maneuver myself to keep the player away? And it really just added something kind of different. We think about 1v1s, maintain possession, but having that as a kind of unique dynamic really got the players kind of going, oh, how do I do this? It was kind of fun. There was a lot of laughter, and it really did bring the heart rate up. It's 15 seconds of this is very intense. And so we did it a couple of rounds. Each time the players rotated. So if you were the person with the possession of the ball, then you moved to blocking, and then you moved to defense. And we went through a couple times, mixed up the groups a little bit just to kind of keep things fresh. But that was really about, total of maybe 10 minutes. But really got the heart rate going, quick water break, and boom. And then we're into 2v2 plus 2. So with the 2v2 plus 2, basically using this same space, we have our, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have our 2 neutrals on the either end line, so they're represented in red. And then we have our 2 blue defenders in the middle and the 2 players in possession. So we have 2v2 plus 2. So really simple purpose is you're trying to score a point by going from end and back. So the team in possession, they try to maintain possession away from these 2, and they try to get the ball to this player, who then tries to get the ball to this player. And as we go, of course, we can transition across and winning, maybe continue to possess the ball and then getting it back. And you can get, can go over, round through, however you want to. If the defending team wins possession, they immediately get wide, try to maintain possession while yellow tries to recover. And for this, similarly, it's a pretty intense kind of effort, this 2v2 plus 2, in roughly what is like a 10 by 20 grid. Very, very intense. So we would go through maybe like a minute and then rotate. And so, each team would then kind of have an opportunity to, be the neutrals. And so it was just really high pace, really quick, really intense. Can we press? Can we win it? Can we maintain possession? And then we had the same thing going on over here. So 2 concurrent grids of 2v2 plus 2. And once we had that finished up, and we felt like it was a good opportunity to kind of go to the 4v4 plus 4, I just knocked out the cones in the middle, and our neutrals now inhabited along either end line, and we had our 4 in the middle, and then we had our 4 who were in possession. And they had to kind of change it a little bit because we had the same basic premise. We're going to go from end line to end line and back to score a point. But because these touch lines are now being inhabited by neutrals, where in the 2v2 plus 2 they were inhabited by the attackers, it really challenged these players to find space. How can I make sure that I'm not in line here, or if I'm in line here, how can I create space? How can I manipulate space to help my team progress? And if the team, the defending team won possession, obviously they would continue to try to go from end to end, and we go a few minutes and then switch, and then neutrals would rotate. And so blue became the neutral, while red played yellow in the middle. And this one we would go a little bit longer with the amount of space that we had. It wasn't quite as intense as the 2v2+2, but we were able to focus a little bit more on just kind of building those connections again, especially with the players having come from high school. A lot of them hadn't seen each other in a while. It was a good opportunity to get a lot of, ticking all those boxes, directional, maintaining possession, defending really quick, really, connecting with each other. And then once we kind of went through that, we had about 20 or so minutes left. Brought in the pop-up goals. Field space is kind of at a premium now, so we didn't have big goals. We brought in the pop-up goals, and we just went 6v6, just organized. And we used the same space, so basically the same space. I think I put the cones on, or the goals on either end. I might have extended it a little bit, but really it was a very easy session to go from one activity to the next. Had the cones laid out 10 minutes before practice started, and it was very easy, quick transition from one to the next. Kept the pace moving pretty quick, got the players heart rates up real quick immediately with the protect the king, queen, and then we're able to tick a lot of boxes with the 2v2+2, 4v4+4, and the 6v6 at the end. So overall, really easy basic session that you can use that can be adapted for more players or skill levels, but 12 ideal number. Rinse, repeat, soak, rinse, repeat. Yeah, those tornadoes got me on my mind, man. Cheers.